Okay, so all right, my name is Jordan Martin, and my group name is IT Man, and I am by myself. So, um, I was born and raised in Topeka, Kansas. I graduated high school in 2019, and I came to Fort Hays after that, and have been here ever since. I'm currently 22 years old, and I plan on graduating in May of this year if all goes well. So, my qualifications, I am a senior here at Fort Hays State University, as I stated before. When I graduate, I will be obtaining a Bachelor of Science in Information Networking with an emphasis on computer networking and telecommunications. Um, I've completed most of my required courses so far, which I'm in my last semester, so that's kind of a given. But some of the courses that I have completed include Internet Networking 1, 2, and 3, Python, fundamentals of network security, Linux and networking, Windows Server administration, and both data communications 1 and 2. Um, Currently, I am in an internship here in Hays, Kansas at a place called Enersys. There, I basically configure and update and upgrade different Windows devices, including like Windows 10, Windows 8 a little bit, and a lot of Windows 7, actually upgrading them to Windows 10. Haven't really messed around with Windows 11 yet. I have on my own, but not there at all. I also troubleshoot IT systems. I assist in managing their servers, assist in managing their network devices, and I do other projects, including this one, which is who I'm doing it for, Enersys. Some other job experience that I have during the summers of my college career, I would work in construction. And at high school, I worked at Red Lobster for like 2.5 years. So, like I said before, the client is Enersys. More specifically, it is Dylan Hogan. So, Enersys is a battery manufacturing plant here in Hays, Kansas. They have been here in Hays since 1988, but they are, in fact, actually a global company, which I wouldn't think they would come to Hays, Kansas, but they did since they're global. But they're all over. Some in Japan, anywhere you can think, Australia, anywhere. So who's Dylan Hogan? Dylan is the IT systems analyst that works at Enersys. He has been there since around 2020, I believe, maybe beginning of 2021, somewhere around there. He basically manages all of the IT systems for the plant. He's really the only IT guy there, so he's in charge of budget for the IT department. So what they need to upgrade, what do they need to buy, all of their desktop PCs around the plant, all of their tablets, all of their little scanners that they use to scan barcodes for the batteries, um, um, all the phones, all of the switches, all of the routers, anything you think of IT, pretty much, is there to help. Um, and basically, I didn't say what Intersys is. So Intersys, um, yeah, I did actually. Enersys is a battery manufacturing plant. Sorry, I got so confused right there. Anyways, I'll continue. But the batteries they make are bigger batteries, not like car batteries. They're bigger than that, more like forklift batteries or around that size. Sorry about that. I got confused for a second. So the project itself, I will be creating a Linux-based server that will be running WordPress. Through WordPress, I will be creating a website for the plant, not like for people to connect to outside of the plant. It's mainly for people coming inside of the plant. The website will be displayed on various screens around the plant. And to display these screens, I'll be using Raspberry Pis. The Raspberry Pis aren't going to be running like a script or anything. It's just going to be connecting to the IP address for the website specifically. So the budget, it's all free. There's nothing had to be paid for because they all had this in house. The computer I'm using is an older one that they're not using anymore, which has worked out perfect. And they already had Raspberry Pis there. So for Dell computer, I looked up with similar specs to the one that I'm using: 8 gigabytes of RAM, no graphics card, similar Intel CPU. It was around $500, maybe less. You can probably find one for less. So $500 for that. Raspberry Pis right now, I know they're expensive. I kind of just went for the Rio price. But for one, usually right now it's around like $150, $200. But I went for the retail price, like I said. So I think they're using around 6 of them, which is $55 each, 330. And if they were going to pay for a domain, which they're not, it's going to be right around $120 a year. So the server itself, like I said before, it will be a Linux-based server, and it will be running the Ubuntu desktop distribution. I thought about doing the Ubuntu server distribution, but the desktop distribution is pretty much the same thing, except it has a graphical interface. With the server, it doesn't. It's all command line. So I kind of wanted the desktop interface. So it just, I don't know. In my mind, I like to visualize stuff. It'll be running Apache 2. Apache 2 will be powering the website itself. It'll also be running MySQL and MariaDB, which are two database management systems. And it will also be running PHP in order to connect to PHP MyAdmin, which is also a database management tool. So, sorry, I skipped one. The website itself, like I said, it'll be created on WordPress. Some of the features it will have about section. So about InterSys, like I said before, what InterSys is, what they're for, what they do. Just regular about us section. We'll have announcements, what is going on that day, what's going on that week, anything for people coming in if they're having tours, stuff like that. Upcoming events for the plant, upcoming deadlines that they need to meet, weather forecasts and weather radar. For some reason that the employees around the plant want to look at the weather. I know people do, but Dylan specifically asked for this, saying that they always ask him for him to make something that they can look at the weather while they're working. So for the timeline, so January and February are complete, but January was the concept. I created the idea for the project while communicating with Dylan. He laid out what he wanted and told me what I had to work with. So he told me I had Raspberry Pis, I had this old desktop that they're not using. And that's basically how I came up with the idea. In February, planning. I created the plan on how I was going to complete this project, what I was going to do and use, and looked in the systems I can use to create the website for. So I looked into WordPress and I looked into Linux-based servers. March, which is now, I am actually currently creating the server. I have downloaded stuff onto the Linux desktop right now, but I'm not fully done with it yet. So it's a work in progress right now. And then April and May, which I have not started that. We haven't gotten to April yet, obviously, is the website and implementation phase. So in April, I will begin to create the website and use the tool that WordPress provides to complete what Dylan wants in the site. Towards the end of the April, I plan on to almost having the website completed, which I should by that time. And that is when I will implement the Raspberry Pis around the plant so that it will be ready to use when the website is up and running. So that is the end. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Just comment them down below. And if you guys have any comments, I will greatly appreciate your feedback. Thank you.